So Around the Horn is canceled. It's been on ESPN for nearly 23 years. It debuted back in 2002. I remember when it first came on. I used to watch it. That's back with Max Kellerman. Remember him? One of the best sports commentators ever on ESPN. Yeah. And you saw how ESPN did him. Just for running him out, he became much, much better. But for how they ran him out, maybe this is good karma. Tony Reale, who was known as Stat Boy on Pardon the Interruption, ended up hosting it. Woody Page was notorious on there, and Jay Moriarty. I wasn't the biggest fan of the show for the longest time before they got some balance on it because they didn't have a lot of balance. It was the same old heads and the port. It was interesting. Kevin Blackstone, Jay Donnie. I used to watch it back then, but then it got corny, and then it went downhill, you know. And then Bill Plaschke would be on there and all that. And Woody Page's Jack Nicholson type antics and his clown show, kind of like Paul Lynde on Hollywood Squares, he was like someone between Jack Nicholson and Paul Lynde with his over the top things, and Jeremy Moriarty with his pompous smugness. So when reality took over, that's what happened. But anyway, they tried to be more commercialized with Jamel Hill and Bohemian Jones. Almost that who's who of everybody on ESPN been on that show. So, they give their commentary, what have you. But anyway, it's one of them shows I forgot all about. The truth is, there was a time, there was the ESPN happy hour with that show, and then Pardon the Interruption and all that, First Take and all that. But that network is such jive. I mean, they just bargain basement. And so you almost forget that a show's been around that long until you hear about it. It's like, wow, 23 years is crazy when you think about a show. But it gets people just stop watching it, which eventually they did. And the thing is that for all these shows ESPN have on, most of that stuff is forgettable. There's no real depth in the shows anymore. So, it had a great run though. Got 23 years out of it, what have you. Had a great run. It was an entertainment show, sports shop, sports bar kind of show. Um, you know, some of the commentary, some things I agree with, some I didn't. But most people kind of cringe at ESPNs because it's basically become the LeBron James happy hour. And they run with the same old format, so it's really not as much as enlightened as it once was. Oh, but buddy, when ESPN used to be happening and used to be an actual sports network that you kind of would love to watch the debates. And they stopped doing that a long time ago, so it's just a haphazard pit stop show. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd talk about Around the Horn. Used to have memories of watching it. Like I said, it was that before PTI came on.